Have you ever sat down and made a list of things you thought you are or were and put some labels on yourself? In my quest to be a simplist, which is simplifying my life in my mid-80s, is there any hope for me? When I look at this list of what I have put labels on myself, I'm a maximalist, I'm a sentimentalist, I'm a collector, I'm a thrifter, I'm a sewer, a crafter, I'm a rotten purger, I'm a fashionista, I'm a dreamer, I'm a procrastinator. Now, is there any hope for me for simplifying my life? What do you think, my friends? Hello, hello, and surprise again. As someone said, you're surprising me, Nanny, with these days that you're showing up on. I know I'm not keeping to my normal schedule of a weekend and Wednesday, but I confused myself last week and got all messed up. So maybe you'll be getting some surprise videos because I think I'm going to be making them as the urge gets to me, and hopefully I can do them without too much editing. Then we can talk more. I went to the doctor yesterday morning. I thought I had an 8:20 appointment, had Moosey set the alarm for 6:30 so I could get up. Now, this was for my blood work that I had done at Quest for our normal doctor. And we were going over my diabetic blood work, and I did want to talk to him about my meds and discuss my situation of hydration and my little trip to the emergency room last week. And he was wonderful. I had so many questions. He and I do chat about things. We chat about my YouTube and you, my friends. He asked me all sorts of questions about the ages of the women and are they all alone and do they ever speak to anyone? Because I guess he has a lot of older women who never see anything in between the visits to him. And he says it's such a shame, and he wonders what can be done about this situation. Well, I know. He answered so many of my questions. And number one, I just want to tell you that my diabetic blood work is great. Evidently, all those greeny vegetables in the past month or two were pretty good for me. But he does want me to maybe have an egg or a yogurt or some of my smoked salmon, or, you know, the dips into the pickle jar, the herring jar, and the artichoke jar. That's okay, as long as I add a bit of good protein in the day, and eggs and smoked salmon and stuff like that will do it. So I'm not getting into big breakfast, but every once in a while I'll do those muffin tin eggies that you all like and Moosey loves, and I'll have those too. Now I'm going to move my camera a little bit so that you can see my fireplace. Our little adobe cottage is not that large, and there's not too many places I can speak to you from. But as you can see, I have not decorated that mantle in months. And I should have been putting up my blue and white china and some other things that go along with that lovely springy summer painting of the beach that Shannon did for me last year. And I always switch out the mantle and the paintings. I've been so lax about doing that. And Moosey said just yesterday, gee, do you see what's up there? You still have Mother's Day cards. And I have a dead rose that's shedding her petals all over. This is what I mean about, will I ever be a simplist? Well, as he said, you should probably take all that stuff, your pewter, down from up there and probably pitch it. Well, that's my Moosey for you, right? My stuff. All my collections of things I've loved and had in our big family home for umpteen years are my loves and my collections. And I'm doing so much introspective thinking lately. You know, that can be good for you and bad for you. And I honestly really want to simplify my life, our life, but I'm the one that has to be able to do this. And it does involve a lot of purging. It does involve a lot of decluttering. On certain days, I can do it. Other days, I go around and it's almost impossible for me to sort through things. All those labels fit me. But in my heart right now, I know that I don't live in my big 5,000 square foot home anymore. And although most of it has already gone to the kids, there's still so much left in the way of the little, what we call tchotchkes, the little stuff that makes me feel good. But maybe I can feel good, and maybe it's more practical to rid myself of some of the daily stuff that I'm running through. And speaking of that, we have made a decision, and everyone has been after me for a long time to do this, and that's to get help. I know I need help with cleaning, with dusting, with cobwebs, with all the jobs. So washing the kitchen floor. Up to this point, I've been doing it. It's not a big place, but you know, having my Shamu, who used to be an outdoor cat for 12 or 13 years, being inside, wow, ladies, I never realized that cat hair and litter boxes and things like that just adds to my problem. And this probably has brought the whole situation up to the surface again. And I discussed it with Moosey and with Colleen. Moosey wants me to hire someone. And to me, that's been the reason I haven't been able to do this, because getting a stranger in here, someone we don't know, first of all, you know, you go through the process of trying to find someone, or one of those teams that comes in. Where do we go? What do we do? Especially in the wintertime. Now, yes, we can sit outside, but I don't know. Plus, I've always worried about the little things I have around. And of course, for people who do this for a living, charge immensely. We did have an estimate once, and the difference between having a house that doesn't have anything on tabletops or around where they can whip through a house in an hour is a lot different from whipping through even a tiny house that has little things on surfaces and on the walls, etc. I don't know whether you can understand me or not about this, but I do know, and I concede to the fact that simplifying my life right now is going to definitely need someone to do this. Well, I talked it over with Colleen, and we do have older kids who are willing to do this, and I would never let them do it on a regular basis without rewarding them in some way. Now, a lot of them have jobs, and I'm talking about the ones that are in high school or the ones that are in college or able to get home often enough. Well, we do have Shannon, who has been a big help so far, but she's getting ready to go to college. She's the one that's graduating. Her big party is this weekend. And she and her brother, Brendan, who is on his way home and has like 3 months home, have agreed that for the next couple of months, they will alter weeks and do what has to be done around here. And honestly, they've done it before for us, but not where we've set up a regular once-a-week job. And it will involve a couple of hours and everything from vacuuming and cleaning and dusting. They already helped me change my sheets, but has to be on a regular basis. And that includes the old litter box, which has added to the situation, and various taking the garbage out, filling up the water bottles, and they already help me dragging things in if they're around when I do shop. So stuff like that. So we are going to get some help with that. And that has helped me in my mind immensely. But my energy level is coming back. And I have been inspired by some women that I've been reading about. And in particular, I want to tell you about one woman who made a comment on my video yesterday about the self-care, self-love, and about simplifying our lives. And remember, I said I didn't think that many people were my age that were our viewers. Well, all of a sudden, people started answering and saying, I'm 86, I'm 88, I'm 82, I'm 75, hello. And then they'd make their comment. So I'm so thrilled to know that there are women out there who are looking to be inspired, looking to get some ideas, and helping me besides. One of my ladies, a gal named Martha, and I saw this last night, and I couldn't get it out of my head. Martha said, hello, I'm 90. Martha said, and I have this whole thing memorized in my head. She said, most of my life, I tried to be the perfect little girl, the perfect child to my parents, the perfect student, the perfect wife, the perfect mother, giving the most perfect dinner parties, and so on and so on. But as I aged, and especially now, I have realized that I can say I have been a good enough child. I have been a good enough student. I've been a good enough wife and a good enough mother. And that's enough for me right now. I think I have been a good enough person. I was so impressed with that. Because that's me. That's me. I was a high achiever all my life. I was a good little girl because I didn't want to disobey my parents. Of course, I wasn't perfect. I knew I wasn't perfect, but I tried to be. And I did try to do my best in school. I did try to be the best wife and the best mother and to have the best house and you name it, that was me. And over the years, I realized, no, I never was the perfect anybody, but I did a good enough job. And that's what I hope to do now, ladies and gents. And maybe you can go along with that with me. So what I'm trying to achieve here is not the perfect life, not the perfect house. That will never happen anyway. It never did, really. But I tried, and I think I did a good enough job. So that's my new mantra, and I think we can do this. And I'm hoping that I get some cooperation, a little help along the way. I do have to admit that most of my life, I did have help with the home and the children. Mostly it was the house, because it was always a zoo with animals all over the place, children, friends of the children, always coming and going. I definitely enjoyed all those children, all those years. I enjoyed our life, but the house did not keep up so well, and I did have help with that. And maybe that's why I don't do such a good job about I have too many irons in the fire all the time. I'm sewing, I'm painting, I'm crafting, I'm always coming up with new ideas, and that's one of my labels. I'm definitely a dreamer. I think I can do it all, but usually I can't. So as I spent a good portion of yesterday answering comments, and I know you all loved the video. You all seem to be very interested in this simplifying our lives. So I have to tell you, ladies, I am not the inspiration on this. I really want to do it, but I'm not the one that has managed it yet. I'm learning and I'm hoping to be able to do it. So you ladies are going to do this along with me, and I get my inspiration from some of you, from some other people. I'm not the example of leading a simple life. I want to get there. So we're going to do this together. Just remember, I am not the one that's leading this gang here, okay? But I still have all those things, all those buckets of, as I said, I'm a sewer, I'm a crafter, I'm a collector, I'm a fashionista. I love my clothes, I love my bags, I love my shoes. And I've had so much of it for so long, I honestly don't buy too much anymore at all, because I still love all my old stuff. But there's a problem there too. When I pack up winter things or shoes or whatever, they go out in tubs into the shed. And sometimes if I want something, like, look at me here on the end of May in California, and I'm back in something warm. I don't think we've awakened to a sunny day in May all month long. And it's been chilly, and the sun doesn't come out till somewhere around noon. Now it is starting to peak out there now, and I will be taking this off. But isn't this a riot? I had to go out to one of my tubs to get this because I threw my other sweater away. I did a little run through Walmart to get some food that I needed on my way home from the doctor. I took some of these clips just to show you some ready-made meals, and I also want you to look at the prices, lady. They're very, very reasonable for all kinds of meals that you can cook for your family. And some of these I use all the time, especially these steak and chicken fajitas. And I do want to share this. Moosey, and you know I love my soups, and they're so easy for me to make. And Moosey particularly loves a good creamy mushroom soup. Now I usually start with a base of some kind of a canned something, and then I add to it. And I found in Walmart these wonderful mushroom and herb soups. Now, you know, you get these in that little area where they have fresh soups that they put together daily and everything. I also found another one. We love our lobster bisque and our tomato bisque. This is always great. I always add a little something to these. And when we have the tomato bisque, we usually have it with grilled cheese. What else do you have with tomato soup, right? However, if you don't want to spend the calories, now Moosey will forgo that, but I myself could add some croutons, some Parmesan cheese, some herbs, float that in here, and that might be the equivalent, maybe, of a grilled cheese sandwich. What do you think? So I think maybe tonight or tomorrow night, I'm going to make this mushroom soup. I bought more mushrooms, fresh mushrooms, that I'm going to fry lightly with some onions, and I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to put some cream cheese or ricotta cheese or sour cream, something else, to create a little bit of a creamier soup. And then I will put my whipped heavy cream in there, and we will have a delicious creamed mushroom soup. This is part of my simple meal making. A lot of soups that you can start with a canned soup of some kind or one of these fresh made soups from the market. Now, as you can tell, I do have a lot of irons in the fire here of things that I'm trying to do. I want to do this today to just get it off, but I don't think I know exactly where the blue and white china is outside, but I'll check that out today. I still have the patio out there. It's an ongoing project. I hope to have that finished by the end of the week. And then I do have all the rest of the new furniture, the chairs and the cushions and everything covered up out there in a tarp. They've been covered up for a couple of months. And we want to start dragging those in. Actually, there's a little bit of painting that we are going to ask one of the grandkids to do. The beautiful wall out there surrounding the patio, which is almost 100 years old, along with the house, has really gotten yucky and dark. And the white stucco now, it has some tiles set into it, but the stucco needs to be painted white because it looks dingy. So there's a lot of sprucing up besides. That's my new life. I feel so much better that I'm eating a little bit. By the way, the doctor did tell me that my potassium level and my magnesium levels are good in my blood work. So the dehydration wasn't bad enough to deplete me of those vitamins or minerals, whatever they are. And he said, go lightly on the electrolytes because those are okay too in my blood work. So all in all, everything looks good. I do still have an appointment with our cardiac doctor just as a follow-up to that ER visit, just to further discuss if he wants to change any meds or anything. Some of you asked, when I asked you what would you like to see or hear in my videos, and a lot of you had said, I'd like to hear more about where you live, see more of your family home, where you raised all the kids, and some of the interesting travels and things, places that you went. Well, it occurred to me when I thought about that yes, I can dig up a lot of photos of the house and some of the funny stories. Love the rabbit hole stories. You like those. But one particular trip that we took with Mikey and Sabrina and Dane when he was a little boy, probably about 2.5 or 3. So we would have been, mid-70s, somewhere around there. And we went to Europe with them. And we rented a house in the country in France, about an hour or 2 outside of Paris. And, oh, the house was magnificent in a village where no one spoke English. Beautiful cobblestone walks. It was so wonderful. We also went to Bruges, stayed there for several days. And then we wound up in Amsterdam, where we spent 10 days living in a houseboat on the river there. What an experience that was. Mikey and Sabrina, we went there particularly because one of Sabrina's friends that she au paired with when she was in college in Spain was getting married. So we went over for that wedding and we had a wonderful time. And the experience of living on one of those canals in a boat was out of this world. So I am going to do that within the next video or 2. I have some good pictures and I will tell you some stories about that trip. And also I'm working it in with a philosophy that we learned and saw in practice as we spent that time there, of the philosophy of living for the Dutch. In fact, they claim, as it's part of their character, to live this peaceful life. Do you know that the Netherlands is the 5th happiest place in the world for people that are content and happy? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of their self-care habits within that video. That was a fun one. Just a little something to look forward to. So thanks for popping along on this journey with me, ladies. It's so important to me that you can help me with your ideas. I know this is a tough thing to do, especially since my mindset is wants to do this, but doesn't really have a clue how to do it. So I'm welcoming your suggestions on certain things. I know they say before you can do the declutter, you must purge. So I've got to do these things in phases. And I'm beginning all this thing only with the urge to need to do it. So thanks for coming along with me, ladies. Thank you for all your comments and your support. And we will continue with this series of always, I guess, probably for months and months to come. It will always be somewhere in my life of becoming a simplist. And there you go. I just added a new label to my life. Nanny, the simplest. Sounds good to me. How about you? I love you all. Thanks so much for watching and binging and all your comments. I'll see you soon. Never know. I'm kind of getting these videos out kind of quickly here, as long as I don't gab too much and have to do too much editing. Bye for now. I love you, and God bless us all.